Can't believe we're already talking about potentially the last cookout of the summer.
Well, yes and no. Officially, Labor Day
summer
is kind of like one of those cornerstones, one of those moments, everybody gets together for that last big blowout, right?
Right. We don't put our grills away.
No, we don't actually stop grilling. We keep grilling, and thank God, because Omaha Steaks is still here. And yes, they will make your Labor Day party, though, much better, especially when you check out the deluxe grill out assortment, and you can save some serious money right now.
Go to omahasteaks.com and use the promo code PatandJT in the promo code box. And 50% off the deluxe grill assortment.
And you get 12 free burgers. So if you were like me, okay, my favorites, I'd have to go with the all beef meatballs are delicious.
Yes.
The filet mignons, the bacon wrapped filet. There's nothing like cow and pig put together. Right. Love it.
Right.
And the chicken breast, boneless chicken breast, that would be on my list.
The carameled apple tartlet dessert. Didn't even think Omaha Steaks made such delicious desserts, but they do, and that's one of the things you can put into that assortment.
Yeah, and they've got great assortment of sides, all the desserts, over 30 entrees, including those fillets and the burgers and everything else, the franks. You can put it all in there. Plus, you're going to save over 50% and get 12 free burgers.
Let's tear it up this Labor Day. Go to omahasteaks.com and use the promo code PatandJT for the deluxe grill out assortment. Save 50%.
Season 2 of the PatandJT podcast.
Oh man, I'm here at last. The best time, always gonna be the best. Come on!
Exclusively on the Herd App Media Network.
SweetStock.com. That is where you need to go. Use our code PatandJT to get $10 off per ticket at SweetStock.com. Show's coming up August 28th.
So we're going to kick something off with this episode. So we've got a big show coming, like we just mentioned, SweetStock. So we're going to try and get in as many of the artists that we possibly can to talk to before the show gets here. And probably no better place to start than the people who are going to be hosting the show.
Right.
So Brian McFadden won't take our call.
That's right.
But anyway, and that's fine. Whatever, dude. We'll get you later. We'll call your mom.
That's right.
Right?
Yeah, he'll answer.
He'll answer. Anyway, so we're going to start it with Kirkpatrick. Who, you might ask? Oh, no, you didn't ask that.
No, you didn't ask that.
You didn't ask that. But awesome guy. Going to be in town in just a couple of weeks. I'm excited that we finally got things worked out so we could talk to you. Less than 2 weeks out from the big show.
Sorry about that.
No, that's not a problem at all. It's just been a matter of time, right? We get it figured out.
Yeah. And now you so you're hosting SweetStock, which is coming up August 28th. Yep. I can't believe it's already 28th. It's just cruising. How long have you known you're going to be doing this?
I've been doing this for maybe a month or two, I think.
Not bad.
So really looking forward to it. Yeah.
It's going to be fun.
This is going to be great. I mean, when was the last time you were in Omaha?
Last year, actually.
Oh.
I was there last year. Joey and I hosted a Halloween party there on the 30th of October. So, yeah, believe it or not, normally it's like, oh, geez, I don't know. What year is this?
Like legit last year.
But, yeah, no. It was just last year we were there.
And especially last year when travel was down, parties were down. But I guess a Halloween party, everybody's wearing a mask anyway.
Right.
So we might as well have a Halloween party.
Yeah.
Yeah, or so we say.
Right.
Yeah, well, we got a mask. No big deal there.
Yeah. It's all good. We're all good. Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Well, shoot, one of the things I wanted to ask you about, aside from SweetStock stuff, is one of the TV shows. One of my favorite performers is John Rich. And you were part of Gone Country, and what an eclectic group of people that you worked with on that show. I just wondered what the whole experience was like, and John Rich himself, if you already knew him before or what the deal was.
Well, it's funny because I'd met him before, and doing the show was amazing. I mean, I lived in Nashville for a month and a half or something to film the show, and now I live here permanently. So, it kind of made me go, I should move to Nashville because I like it here so much. So that kind of was a little bit of a determining factor. This is why we moved here. But John has always been, really great guy, really nice to me, and always taking care of me. And I'd come up here to visit, and he's like, oh, go to my spot, I'll hook you up. And he's just a great guy. I've always been a big and Rich fan, and it was a lot of fun, and we got to do a lot of weird stuff with a lot of really cool celebrities. Being with Jermaine Jackson was probably, a dream come true. It was great just to talk to him about things and about life and about our experiences with our bands and everything. So it was a lot of fun. Sebastian Bach was cool. Michaela Gordon. The list goes on of the cool eclectic people I got to hang out with.
It was really great. I was going to run down the list, as a matter of fact, because Sebastian Bach, I got that one right. I'm like, okay, that's cool.
Right.
Irene Cara was another one. Michaela Gordon, like you mentioned, Jermaine.
Yeah.
Lorenzo Lamas.
Irene Cara was only there for a day.
Oh.
She only was there for she came to the first day and she was like, yeah, this isn't something for me. And I was like, oh man, I had so many. Sean Young was on it.
Why was Sean Young on it?
Lorenzo Lamas.
How did Sean Young end up on it? I mean, we're talking Sean Young, the actress. Is who we're talking about, right?
Yeah.
Good Lord.
She was in one of my all-time favorite movies with Kevin Costner called No Way Out. From the late 80s, early 90s.
Great movie.
It's a great movie with a killer twist at the end of it. And then I found out she was cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. But I always liked her. She always has, I got a soft place in my heart for her.
Yeah, me too. I mean, I kind of feel the same way you do. She's a little off the wall, but, definitely, really nice. I mean, I remember I ran into her maybe a couple years later at this con I was doing in California. And I went, oh, no. It was, I called her not even a year after we did the show. And I was like, hey, it's Chris, just catching up, seeing what you're doing. And she was like, who? Who is this? I was like, I did the show, Gone Country with you. She goes, I don't know who you are. I'm like, remember I was a younger kind of pop guy. And I think it took like a half hour on the phone until finally she was like, oh, yeah. How are you doing, Chris?
I love that. That's great.
Most people, when they sit back like me right now, I'm thinking back, I'm like, man, sometimes you just sit back and think of the good old days, right? I'm thinking, I remember when I hit that bass hit in high school. And you can sit back and think about the good old days. I remember when we played in front of 100,000 screaming girls for the 15th straight night as you're touring with NSYNC, thinking what an amazing experience that is. And not a lot of people in this world can say that they did that.
No.
But do you ever just sit back and think, God, look what we did. Look what we accomplished.
Well, I think now that, there's been a long hiatus. I've had a lot of time to sit back and, really, I don't think the magnitude of it is hit until afterwards. And, I'm with, I have a lot of friends here that are local celebrities or like news guys and stuff. And I'll be out with them and people come up, hey, nice to meet you. And then we'll travel somewhere. And it's like, people still come up to me and they're like, how did they, I'm like, I don't know. It's so crazy. You go to all these random cities and kids come out and they tell you their stories. And I think that's the best part is when I hear the stories of, growing up and remembering what music and artists and bands were to me and how much they meant to me. And then hearing that, my band and me and the guys meant that much to them, that it's it's so cool because you get this personal side of it that you're a part of, whether or not, when I go and talk to the bands that I grew up with, I'm like, yeah, you wouldn't believe. And they're like, yeah, okay, whatever. But with these kids, I'm like, no, I get it because I remember how much integral part of my life they were. So I realize how much of an integral part we were to you. So I feel like, you know us and we're old friends and we've got you through some crazy times. We've got you through some happy times. And, it means a lot more having gone through it to be able to understand what we meant to kids.
And you also cock-blocked a lot of us, high school boys.
All right. First of all, I don't think we ever cock-blocked. To me, it was always like, we're always there to help.
That's what I was going to say.
It was?
If anything, it would be that would be help if you take your girl to one of their shows.
No, because it's like
right,
they're looking at your posters on the wall, and then they go, "Well, Pat's picking me up in 10 minutes." You know what I mean? It's totally it's not a help.
Hey, Hey, it's just a settle. It's like, hey, you know what? I'll settle for Pat.
That's
Which is
fine.
You can do that. You can deal with being settled for.
That's right. No, that's true. My wife's. I'm glad my wife settled down.
Yeah, and in all reality, my wife will be one of the first to tell you. She's like, it's really not all it's cracked up to be, just to let you know. Like, you probably are better off with what you got, because my husband's a pain in the ass.
I was going to ask you, because you have this huge history. How good a job does she do to keep you humble? It's like, yeah, okay, dude, that's fine.
All right. First of all, when you started it off with, you have this huge history, I was like, wait, where are we going?
Maury Povich is here.
Like, yeah, yeah, you are not the father. Wait, who are you?
Who's this?
What country do you live in?
Right.
No, she keeps me really humble, and it's cool because, she's my best friend, and I know it's cliche and everybody always says that, but that's what you want. You want to find that person that, when all the people in our neighborhood are having guys' nights and wives' nights and they all want to get out, I'm like, well, can I bring my wife? Because she's fun. And I love hanging out with her. And now adding a third to the collection. I don't know if you can see by my Buzz Lightyear.
I was just going to mention that. I got up and walked across the room to go look at the monitor, because I'm like, is that Buzz Lightyear in his back? I said, my God, it is. There's Buzz Lightyear.
Sure is Buzz Lightyear. That's right. To infinity and beyond. Adding him in the mix really helps out. And it's like, it's cool that we've got another person now that we kind of collected into our little posse of fun, and we have fun with him and we have fun with each other, and it's just it's great marrying somebody that you love to hang out with.
Yeah. Right.
That's cool.
And did you, I'm just going to take a stab in the dark here, you named him after Nashville?
No, actually we didn't.
Stop.
We had the name picked out for a really long time. And I think maybe that we were naming him Nash. We're like, oh, maybe we should move to Nashville now. Yeah, that was always top of the list for boys' names. I kind of feel bad that he was born in Nashville, because he's gonna live his life and he's gonna be like, what's your name? And they're like, oh, Nash, where are you from? Nashville. They're like, yeah, no kidding. Your parents were original, right? I said, I'm just glad we're not in Orlando anymore, because if we were in Orlando, would he be Oral?
Oral, that's not good. Not good.
No offense to all the Orals out there, but Oral.
Or how many? There's Oral Roberts. There's Oral Redenbacher.
Hershiser.
Oral Hershiser.
Yeah.
Good call. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So I know there's at least 3 Orals.
There's a couple great Orals. There's not many great Nashes, I guess. I guess he's gonna have to be the first.
Right?
Yeah,
might be.
That's very
We
true.
have a friend that goes by Nash Rocket.
And he lives. Yeah, he lives in Nashville.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's a photographer that's down there. Used to be a radio guy. Used to work up here in Omaha with us. Back actually when you were blazing the trail at Sweet. Yeah, he was here in town, worked the morning show, and Nash Rocket now is
in Nashville.
Yeah, doing his thing. So there's another Nash.
Pretty crazy.
So there you go.
There we go. We got tons of them. Everybody named Nash is moving to Nashville.
And not to out you at all, but I was eavesdropping on another podcast you were recording earlier, and I know you started in the gym, at the gym, and then you left to go sit in your truck.
Yeah.
And you've been out in your truck for at least an hour and a half now. So that's like the typical play for me to go to I go to the gym, sit down, realize, screw this, go sit in my truck for an hour and a half, talk on the phone, and then end up going home. Are you going to go back in the gym, or are you out?
Yeah. Well, I have to go back in the gym to pick my kid up. I dropped him off. I didn't realize I kind of screwed up, and it's totally my fault, and I apologize to you guys and the other podcasts as well. I didn't realize this was going to be like this, and I was like, I got to go to my kid's school thing, and then I got to run to the gym, and I said, is this something I can just do on my phone? And my manager's like, yeah, sure, no problem. And I'm like, started doing it, and I was like, oh yeah, this was stupid. This was a dumb idea. I should be home. I should be doing this correctly for you guys, and not like
it looks fine. It sounds fine.
In my car going, yeah, I really don't have time for you guys, so I'm here in my car just making do.
Yeah.
If you guys settle for how expensive my time is, just like, no, this was just poor planning. So now it's been so long that I don't even know if they will hold my kid that long. So if I go back in the gym, I'm just gonna have to leave. As long as I check in here, I think the weight still comes off.
If you see your kid wandering through the parking lot, like with his little wristband taken off, like his time was over, you know that you've been out here too long.
just crying, going, they just turned me into the street. Now you're making me look. Now I'm like, wait,
He's like,
Is my kid okay?
Where's he at? Where'd he go? Shit.
Hey, just so you know, in my defense, as I've been sitting here doing these, a car pulled up and parked in front of me, and he was sitting in his car for about 45 minutes, and he just pulled away.
He just
so I
left?
don't feel
Okay.
as bad anymore.
I love the gym routine down there. It's
Right?
perfect.
It
Yeah.
works out really well. But I think you're right. As long as you check in, you'll still lose weight and get stronger.
You do.
Yeah, it's like when my wife likes to lose weight, she'll have me order everything so she eats it. Since she didn't order it, it doesn't count.
Boom. Right there.
Love it.
That is perfect. That's perfect.
So what band for SweetStock are you most excited to see?
There's I like all the bands, and there's something about each band that I really, I've always been a big Shaggy fan. TLC I love. Mark McGrath, I had such great conversations with. I just did a show maybe about 2 months ago with him, and just like talking to him and listening to his music expertise and everything he knows. I was really like, I was always a Sugar Ray fan, and we were always cordial, but that really made me go, man, this is a cool guy. Like I was, when my friends were asking me like, what's he really like? I was like, dude, what you see is what you get. Like what you imagine Mark McGrath is what he's like. Like he's really cool. So there's so many bands there that I've always looked up to and, had an admiration for. So that I couldn't pick one. I'd have to say the show is just going to be fun.
Yeah, it is. A lot of people really looking forward to it.
It's going to be a blast.
It's just like everybody digging out the old pictures from the 90s and digging out, and oh my God, some of the other SweetStock memorabilia from the previous years that we had the show. And it's like, it's just so much fun to see all that stuff. And what's really cool too is that a lot of kids, younger kids now, are onto the music, and they're accidentally, but thank you TikTok, right? But they're really catching on. They're like, oh, whoa, I like these guys. These are good. I think Pat's kids are 16 and 18.
16 and 18, and they're super pumped.
Yeah,
Which shocks me.
I like how you say accidentally too. That's funny. They accidentally find it, because I find myself with my little kid in the car, and the other day where he starts just belting out "Don't Stop Me Now" by Queen. And I'm like, yes, I did something right. And then I realized it was on Sonic the Hedgehog, and that's why he loves it.
right?
I was like, hey, whatever it takes to get him to listen to it, that's fine. He loves "I'm Still Standing" by Elton John, and I'm like, oh, that's great. And then I realized it's on Sing. Yeah. And that's why he loves that song. So I'm like, if people were smart, we would make all these new kids cartoons with throwback, really good music. So our kids are going, now, Dad, Led Zeppelin, that's the best band. Am I right? You're like, all right, there you go.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
I think it's a great, because any way you can get it to seep into their culture, it's like into their world without, they don't even, because if you tell them something's good, it's not going to be good.
Yeah.
Right?
No, 100%.
Yeah. Plus, they're not going to want to listen to it if you tell them it's good. They want to listen to their stuff.
Yeah,
they don't want to listen to your crap.
I love it when they do hear the song either on the radio or whatever. Then they're like, and they hear it like, oh, this is a TikTok song. Like, no, it's not a TikTok.
Yeah.
It had a history.
Now one good thing is my kid. Well, I don't know if it's a good thing, I should say, but my kid loves "Bye Bye Bye." And he sings that thing all the time. And it's so funny because every time he sings it or hears it, he's always like, oh, that's Daddy's song. And I'm like, well, I mean, it's my band song. That's a lot of Justin and JC in there. I mean, you can hear me, but yeah, okay, that's Daddy's song. And, he goes around and singing it. And it's like when we got new merch coming out, when my wife wears NSYNC merch somewhere, it's like I'm always like, can you guys like not do that? Like, you look like weirdos,
right? Like you're forcing them to wear it.
My wife's wearing NSYNC merchandise, and my kid's singing "Bye Bye Bye," and I'm like, I'm just holding on to the past. Give me this. I'm just holding on to the past.
Uncle Rico, it's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay, Uncle Rico.
Yeah. Coach would have put me in fourth quarter. We would have gone state, no doubt.
Damn it.
No doubt in my mind.
That's awesome, Chris. All right, we're gonna let you go get your boy, and these next 2 weeks are gonna fly by. Can't wait to get a chance to meet you in person. That's gonna be a lot of fun too. But yeah, it's gonna be great. Cannot wait.
Yeah, I can't wait either. This is going to be a lot of fun to see all these bands and to be up there with them and, maybe do a little performing or something.
Yeah.
We'll see. But, hanging out. And since we were just in Omaha, I know what to expect, and I know how much fun we had, and I know some spots that I want to hit up and just have fun. When I get to travel and do these shows like this, it's always a blast, and you get to meet all these great new people, and sometimes I have lifelong friends out of this, so it's going to be a good time.
That's
Awesome.
fantastic. Hey, just a quick question: did your family ever get to travel with you, or is that a possibility this time?
They're not going to be there this time, but they do travel every once in a while with me. And that's, I want to get my kid exposed to as much as possible. And hopefully then, like we were talking about, before on this other podcast, that my kid will realize that, hey, why all these kids are screaming for my dad and they want to take pictures. And I'm like, see, don't be a punk to me. 'Cause I'm kind of a big deal. Knock it off.
While he's in the backstage with his AirPods in, playing some video game, not caring at all.
Right?
Yeah, right. Yeah, he that's exactly what he'll be doing.
Yep, 100%.
Cool. All right.
Well, thanks, Chris. We appreciate it.
No problem. Thanks, guys.
You got it. Bye.
You've been waiting for that all time.
The whole
That's
time.
a new one.
Yeah, I bet.
That's a good one.
I bet
Never heard it.
Right, never heard it. Thanks, Chris. We'll see you later, man.
Yeah, take care, guys.
Later. Bye.
Wow, you just embarrassed us.
I know I did.
Why'd you do
That's
that?
awesome. That's awesome.
Pat and JT Podcast, a Huda Media Production.